Yos!
Yo, what is going on, y'all? This is my review and my opinions on Beyond Two Souls. Been out for a week. I wanted to beat the game completely before, coming up with my judgment and shit. But I want to give a shout out to each and every one of y'all that went out and bought this game, because you guys are beasts. You guys are amazing, because you guys support new games. You guys support new IPs. You guys support new experiences. Y'all don't just go and buy out every single Call of Duty and every year y'all go buy FIFA. Nah, y'all ain't like that. Y'all like new games. Y'all support new experiences. And I have to give a shout out to each and every one of y'all that went out and bought this game. The thing is, people always cry for like innovation. They're like, oh, same old games, just different covers and all this jazz. People are like crying out for innovation, but when a game like this comes out, everyone's like criticizing it because it's heavy on the story. The gameplay is not really like a first-person shooter or anything. The game hasn't got guns in it. It's not got headshots and shit. So people are disappointed. But yeah, everybody wants innovation. And when we get an amazing game like Beyond Two Souls, everyone's always quick to criticize the shit. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's crazy, because if we're not going to get these new IPs, if we're not going to get these new experiences, how is gaming going to move forward? I mean, if all we're getting is first-person shooters every single week, how can you expect gaming to improve? And most of these first-person shooters and FIFA games, they're all the same every single time anyway. But when we get a brand new experience like Beyond Two Souls, people want to just criticize the hell out of it. And this has to be like the most controversial game ever. It's like the most polarizing game of all time, because the review scores are like up and down everywhere. Like GameSpot, who normally don't even give high scores, GameSpot gave, correct me if I'm wrong, but GameSpot gave The Last of Us an 8 out of 10. And GameSpot, they're really tight when it comes to review scores, and they gave Beyond Two Souls a 9, which was really surprising. And then you got other sites like IGN that gave the game a 6. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, it's very hard to review this game. I mean, I think it's hard because there's not much to really compare it to. It's like its own genre, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you can compare it to Heavy Rain, obviously, and you can compare it to The Walking Dead and stuff. But other than that, like, what else you compare it to, you know what I'm saying? Whereas when a new shooter comes out, you can compare it to like a million different games, And with Beyond Two Souls, it's like kind of difficult. So like when I see some of these reviewers giving it like a 6 and a 7, I mean, I don't really jump the board on them, but it's like what we're expecting. I mean, they never showed off this game as a first-person shooter or anything. They never showed off this game as a action adventure game or anything like that. Everyone knew that this game is going to be like an interactive movie or an interactive experience, an interactive story and all that stuff. So I'm not really sure what people were expecting, but from my experience of the game is amazing. I expected what I expected, you know what I'm saying? Because I was not expecting this game to be some multiplayer shooter or anything like that. I knew the game's going to be like Heavy Rain, an interactive story. You control your character, you have different choices to make. I knew it's going to be like that. So when I played the game, I wasn't angry or anything, because I knew what I expected. But first off, the graphics in this game are unbelievable. This has to be the best looking game of this generation. I thought it wouldn't get better than Uncharted 3. I thought it wouldn't get, I mean in terms of graphics obviously, I thought it wouldn't get better than The Last of Us. I thought it wouldn't get better than God of War. I thought it wouldn't get better than Killzone 3. I thought it wouldn't get better than Metal Gear Solid 4. But this game is the best looking game of this generation, hands down. And I know there's people going to say, yeah, well, it's a linear experience and it's not open world and all that stuff. It don't matter, because I've seen a million linear games that look like shit. Like, I've seen games that don't look good at all. This game is without doubt the best looking game of this generation. I'm sorry, it just is amazing. I mean, there's some scenes where you're just mind blown, because Ellen Page is in the shower and then you can see all the water of, like, you know, the water going down her body and shit, and it looks so real. It looks so real, and the graphics are just mind blowing. You know, you can see the reflection in the water drops. It's crazy. It's crazy, and it makes me wonder. I mean, if they're bringing out this type of visuals on the PS3, I mean, what on earth are they going to be doing on the PS4? What on earth are they going to be doing on the PS4? Like, I'm sold already. I mean, I was a huge fan of Heavy Rain, huge fan of Beyond Two Souls, and whatever Quantic Dreams and David Cage bring out on the PS4, I'm pre-ordering that shit. I'm pre-ordering it, and I'm gonna buy it day one. You know, now, like I said, this ain't the type of game where you're gonna have guns and shit and a multiplayer component. It's a story-driven game. Obviously, I don't want to get too much into detail because I ain't gonna spoil the game for any of y'all. Don't want to spoil the game for any of y'all, but the game is amazing. It's just an amazing experience. The story is amazing. I do have one complaint about the story, and this ain't a spoiler or anything, but the game jumps back and forth from Ellen Page's her early childhood and her more older self. Like, it keeps jumping back and forth, if you know what I mean. So sometimes you can get a bit lost in what's going on, because there were times when I was playing and I'm like, so I'm before what I just played. I'm playing a scene before what I just played like 30 minutes ago. You know, sometimes it can get a bit confusing, but eventually you do get the gist of it and you get used to it. But I kind of would have preferred if it was just like a chronological order game rather than jumping back and forth between her childhood and her teenage years. But other than that, the game is mind-blowing. You know, Ellen Page is a beast, absolute beast. Like, she's amazing in the game. Like, call it a movie, call it what you want, interactive movie, it don't matter. It's still a game, and it's one hell of a game. Ellen Page is a beast. Yeah, man, there's lots of twists towards the end, and you have to be careful about what you choose, because some of the things, like, they can have a big impact. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about what ending I got, but that I really like the ending. I really like the ending. I thought it was a really smart ending. And there's something towards the end of the game where it makes you think a bit. It makes you think, like, what the hell? And I think that's pretty cool, because, you know, it could really lead on to something else, something new, maybe on the PS4. But it's still something to think about. Like, it was a lovely ending. I mean, like I said, there's several different endings, so you have to check them all out. But the ending I got anyway, which is obviously the main ending, because that's the ending that I experienced, it was a lovely ending. Lovely ending. I mean, I'm not sure if this is even much of a review, because I haven't really talked about the game much. But obviously I don't want to talk about the game much because I don't want to spoil anything. But like I said, it's like an interactive kind of movie, interactive game, call it what you want. The game is amazing. It's amazing. And once again, shout out to all of y'all that went and bought this game, because you guys support new games, you guys support new experiences. And whatever David Cage and Quantic Dream bring out on the PS4, I'm going to be pre-ordering that shit. Haters are going to hate, you know, haters are going to hate. If you play this game knowing that it's all about story, then you're going to love this game. If you play this game expecting lots of guns and explosions and a multiplayer, online, whatever, then you're going to be disappointed. You know? But I expected this game to be amazing, an amazing story. I expected it like an interactive movie, just like Heavy Rain, and I'm amazed. It's an amazing game. It's an amazing experience. Like I said, if you want explosions and shit, then you might not enjoy the game. But if you want an amazing story, you know, amazing characters, an amazing game with an amazing twist and shit, then you have to go play this game. You have to go buy this game for sure. You have to. And the funny thing is, when Bioshock Infinite came out and people started beating Bioshock Infinite, a lot of people were complaining about how the combat in Bioshock Infinite was getting in the way of the story. Because we all know Bioshock Infinite's story is amazing. But people are complaining that the combat in Bioshock Infinite gets in the way of the story. But when you have a game like Heavy Rain that's full on the story and not much on the gameplay department, people are still complaining. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, which one is it? I mean, which one is it? It's crazy. And I love this game. I love this game. I loved Heavy Rain and I love this game. I cannot wait to see what these guys do on the PS4, because it's going to be amazing. Damn, I don't know. It's a crazy game. It's a crazy game. If you have played it, let me know what you're think down below in the comments. Don't spoil the game for anyone. You know, just keep it real. Let me know what you think of the game. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, all that stuff for more. And also hit me up on Twitter. Links always in the description. And that's it for me, y'all. I'm out.